As you can see from the light behind me, I am a Detroit Lions fan. I run a channel called Lion Syndicate and have a channel as well, Syndicate Sports Detroit, where we talk all things Detroit Lions and Michigan sports. But I have this channel as well as part of the Syndicate family of channels, and I am going to start being more consistent on this channel. I love the Detroit Lions, but I also love the NFL. I love talking about playoff seedings and standings and who's going to win the Super Bowl, storylines, people getting traded. So I am going to be more consistent on this channel. I got a schedule working out. Everything's going to work out. So if you don't subscribe, I understand. If you are interested in my take on the NFL and you know me from Lions Syndicate, consider subscribing to this channel. But for the first time this year, and I'm very disappointed in myself because I start a lot of things and don't finish them, I'm going to do a pick'em, a Week 12 NFL pick'em, and this is going to be done using the ESPN playoff machine. It drops every Wednesday, the Wednesday of Week 11, every single year. It drops and updates. And as you go forward, the previous week drops off entirely. You can go through it and figure out how your team, even if they're 1-6, like the Detroit Lions were in 2022, how they can still make the playoffs. I did it. We almost made them, and it was fun. So I love doing this using this machine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these picks, and we're going to use the playoff machine and do a pick'em, as well as seeing what the current playoff picture would look like if it goes this way after my picks in Week 12. All right, so currently the Philadelphia Eagles beat my Detroit Lions in Week 11 to capture that first seed. Right now, the San Francisco 49ers are 7th. The Green Bay Packers are 6th. The Seattle Seahawks are 5th. And surprisingly, look at the Rams, man, not playing around. Very familiar with Matthew Stafford. He's balling over there, man. He's balling over there. Second seed, the Chicago Bears. Former Detroit Lion OC is now over there as their head coach. He also took a couple people with him. Third seed at 7-3. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are that 4th seed. If you look down below, the Detroit Lions, the dark highlighted, the bold teams are the teams that are in the playoffs, and the light colored teams are the ones that's not. You can see here that the Detroit Lions are currently going into Week 12. They are 8th. They actually are the 8th seed and 3rd in the NFC North. With a win tomorrow, they will put themselves back in the playoffs. But let's take a look. All right, so I would have picked the Buffalo Bills to win this game. So I'm not going to act like I would have taken the Texans. The Texans sacked Josh Allen 8 times and have the #1 defense in the NFL. So I should have taken them, but I just thought Josh was going to do his Josh thing, but instead they did it to him. So I would have taken the Buffalo Bills. I'm not going to try to cap on that. I'm actually going to take the Indianapolis Colts. The Kansas City Chiefs are having a really off year. Right now, they're not even in the playoffs. They're going against the #1 offense in the NFL, the #1 offensive player in the NFL, and Jonathan Taylor. I think the Chiefs are going to go to Arrowhead and do something the Lions could not do and upset them. You're going to have to deal with the refs. You're going to have to deal with that. But the Chiefs are not the Chiefs that we've been used to. For the first time, if the Chiefs do not win their division, they will have to start in the Patrick Mahomes era as a wild card team. That doesn't even sound right to say, but it's not over yet. Still a lot of football to go, but I'm taking the Colts to win this game. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know Aaron Rodgers is not, I don't even know if he's playing. I didn't look at the injury report. I'm going to take the Steelers to win this game. I just do not believe in the Bears. They have won some squeak fest games. A lot of them they should have lost. They should have lost the games. But I think that with the defense of the Steelers, the inconsistency of Caleb Williams, and I think that Mason Rudolph will be enough if he does play to beat the Chicago Bears. So I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game. The New England Patriots, there's no doubt about it. The Cincinnati Bengals are laughably bad. They have the worst overall defense, allowing the most yards in the NFL, and they also allow the most points in the NFL. So I don't think it's going to be much of a game. I'm going to take the New England Patriots to win that game. Here, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens are balling out of control. Started off abysmal. They've won, 5 straight? 5 straight, I believe they have. So I'm going to take, and the Jets are just free. They're trying to find their way in the first year. Another former Detroit Lion, This time it's Aaron Glenn going over to coach this team here. I'm going to take, and even though Tyrod Taylor is playing, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens, and they're at home. I'm going to take them to win this game. This is another laughably kind of bad game. The Seattle Seahawks, I'm going to take them to win. The Tennessee Titans are bad. Right now, I think they are competing. I think right now, the Tennessee Titans have the worst record in the NFL. If I'm not, 1-8 currently. You can't see it. 1-8 currently. With a loss tomorrow, they'll be 1-9. And for the second consecutive year, they will have the first overall pick, I believe, in the NFL draft. So I am going to take the Seattle Seahawks to win this game. This game here, I'm going to come back to this. So let's do the Detroit Lions. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions. No fandom or bias here. I think the Detroit Lions are the better team. The New York Giants are playing for something right now. They're playing for their interim coach. And I think they're going to give it all they have. They have Jameis Winston playing. We know how good he can be. We know how bad he can be. But the Detroit Lions in 7 offensive categories are superior in 6 of them. And when it comes to defense, I think they did a clean sweep. I'm not mistaken. But Jared Goff is due for a good game. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. The New York Jets have the second or the third worst rushing defense in the NFL. I think the Detroit Lions are going to have a get back on the winning ways, get right game tomorrow. And even though we got to deal with Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, I think the Detroit Lions are going to win this game. And the Detroit Lions begin a 3-game home stretch of their last 4. So they only have, after this home stretch of today, Thanksgiving, and the 4th of December, they come back one more time. So I think they're going to want to put on a show tomorrow, and I think they win that game. Go here to the Jacksonville Jaguars and Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Arizona Cardinals, even though Trey McBride is on my team, Kyler Murray's put up. He's probably going to be done for the year. I mean, we could see some coaching changes over there. I'm going to take the Jacksonville. Even though the Jacksonville Jaguars are super streaky, I'm going to take them to win this game. I really am. This one here, we're going to come back to this one because this one is just got toilet bowl written all over it. Here, I'm going to take, in a surprise, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons. I think that Kirk Cousins, he's had a miserable year. His whole time with Atlanta has been miserable. He signs a massive deal over there. They draft a quarterback in the top 10 that year, and he's benched, wants to be traded. They don't do it, and now it might pay off for them. I'm going to take, even though the Saints are a little bit better on defense when it comes to points per game and yards allowed, I'm going to take the Falcons, man. I think the Falcons have lost 5 in a row. I think I saw a report today that Raheem Morris is actually on the hot seat. Just a few years after firing Arthur Smith, he's on the hot seat. So I think they know that. I think they're going to play, and I think they're going to win this game. So I'm going to pick them. This one right here is going to be good. You have the Philadelphia Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys. Eagles, their offense is really not doing that great, and they're going against a top 5 offense in the Dallas Cowboys. The problem is the Dallas Cowboys defense. That's been the problem before Quinnen Williams, and he's only been there 1 week, right? I think he's played only 1 game as a Dallas Cowboy. So I am going to, I don't know. I think I took the Eagles or the Cowboys. Let me come back to that. Rams, we talked about them to start this video. I think the Rams are going to win this game. Stafford is balling out of control. The Rams are playing really, really good football. I think they're going to win this game. Even though Baker Mayfield, they need to win. Because quiet as it's kept, the Carolina Panthers that we'll talk about next are right behind them when it comes to that NFC South race. So I'm going to take the LA Rams to win that Sunday night showdown. Here, speaking of Carolina Panthers, I love what they're doing. They've been, the first time they were over 500 this year was, I think, since 2018 or some crazy, ridiculous stat like that. And they've been over 500 twice this year, I believe it was. They're currently sitting at 6-5, but I cannot pick them to go into Levi Stadium and win. I'm going to take San Francisco to win that game. Now let's go back to the picks that I had trouble with. As much as I cannot stand the Green Bay Packers, I don't know who we're going to get out of J.J. McCarthy, Justin Jefferson. I could pick an upset here. I want to make sure I pick one upset. So you know what? I'll come back to this one. Here, I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys. Why not? I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys from what I saw with the Eagles and Lions last Sunday. If the Dallas Cowboys offense can get rolling, CeeDee Lamb, they got him back. Pickens, they do that. I think they can beat this team. And they're playing in Dallas, so I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. Here, okay, you know what? I'm going to pick the Packers. I'll pick the Packers to win this game. I want to pick the Vikings so bad, but I will pick the Packers to win this game. Here is probably, like I said, the toilet bowl. You got Shedeur Sanders against the Raiders. The Raiders are a bad football team. Geno Smith is playing miserably. Pete Carroll is probably going to get fired. And Shedeur Sanders is going to be starting his first NFL game. I'm going to pick the Cleveland Browns to win this game. I think with the city being behind them, the team being behind them, and the fact that the Raiders are horrible, I think the Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders is going to get, I believe this is his first start in the NFL. First start, first win. And he's going to get, and he might take over for the Cleveland Browns when it comes to the future. We'll see, or at least the rest of this year. Because I know the Cleveland Brown fan base did not believe in Dillon Gabriel at all. So I think I picked all the games. Make sure none are blacked out. And if it goes the way I predicted, the LA Rams will wind up with the number 1 seed after week 12. The Philadelphia Eagles will drop to number 2. The Green Bay Packers will move up to the 3rd seed. That's one thing about the Detroit Lions. They can't really get, I think they could get in the 3rd seed if the Minnesota Vikings were to win. Then that will put the Detroit Lions in the 3rd seed. So that's what I would hope to happen, but I think the Green Bay Packers are going to win. It would put the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even with the loss, they would remain in the 4th seed. They seem like over the past few years, since Baker has been there, they've locked up the 4th seed. I think even when Tom Brady, his final year there, I think they kind of stumbled into the playoffs with the 4th seed because the South was horrible. You got the Saints, the Falcons, and the Panthers, and they're just now playing some decent football. Then you have the Seattle Seahawks will be the 5th seed. The San Francisco 49ers will be the 6th, and the Detroit Lions will be in the playoffs tomorrow. So I believe with a win, period, the Detroit Lions would be in the playoffs with the win. Let's see if we, just out of curiosity, if we have the Bears win this game, that would knock the Detroit Lions out. So they would need a win and a Bears or Packers loss, and that will put the Detroit Lions in the playoffs. So there is my pick'ems and my playoff picture. Let me make sure I put it right. My playoff picture for coming out of week 12 with the NFL. And again, I've been doing a lot of things, spread myself thin, and it's time to get serious. I love the NFL. I've been talking about doing it. The only thing that really I'm up against is an algorithm type thing, but I think I might have a way to kind of combat that. I believe in myself. I believe in this channel. I believe in my passion for the NFL. So you will be seeing much more content coming from me and this channel. Maybe I'll get some of the other Syndicate fellas involved as well. But thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to be consistent. I'm telling you right now, so be ready.